Good morning, everyone. This is Father Nate, missionary priest in Italy. Today is Wednesday, November 13th of 2024, and here, at least in the United States, I'm in Italy. In the United States, there is the obligatory memorial of St. Francis Xavier Cabrini, virgin and I believe founder of the missionaries of, I don't remember, but she's founders of a group of sisters. Today's gospel comes to us from the day, which is taken from Luke's gospel, chapter 17, verses 11 through 19. As Jesus continued his journey to Jerusalem, he traveled through Samaria and Galilee. As he was entering a village, 10 lepers met him. They stood at a distance from him and raised their voice, saying, "Jesus, Master, have pity on us." And when he saw them, he said, "Go show yourselves to the priests." And as they were going, they were cleansed. And one of them, realizing that he had been healed, returned, glorifying God in a loud voice. And he fell at the feet of Jesus and thanked him. He was a Samaritan. And Jesus said in reply, 10 were cleansed, were they not? Where are the other 9? Has none but this foreigner returned to give thanks to God? And he said to him, "Stand up and go. Your faith has saved you." Today's gospel recounts for us the healing of 10 lepers and the ingratitude of 9 of them who neglected to return to Jesus to give thanks. There are a couple of things that call our attention. First, this group of lepers is mixed with both Jews and Samaritans. This is surprising since normally the two groups would have nothing to do with each other. However, it's said that misery loves company, and all 10 were outcasts. What difference does birth make if you're experiencing living death? Their desperate situation united them in the common goal of self-preservation and survival. Second, Jesus tells the lepers to show themselves to the priest. In itself, that's already an act of faith, since at this point they hadn't been healed yet. However, as their healing takes place, only one, the Samaritan, goes back to give thanks to God. It's interesting that it's not the Jewish lepers who return. The Jews had received grace after grace and benefit after benefit from God, and yet none of them returned to give thanks. It's only the Samaritan who does so, and in exchange he's told, "Your faith has saved you." Now the others might have been made physically whole, but the Samaritan has been made spiritually whole, filled with new life both physically and spiritually, and precisely because he was grateful. Now, as Catholics, we can say that from God's fullness we have all received grace upon grace. That's from John chapter 1, verse 16. Like the Jewish lepers, we have been given so much, and all we need to do is return and give thanks to God for it. Some fathers of the church draw the parallel between physical leprosy and the spiritual leprosy of sin. We're all together in this world, a bunch of lepers awaiting salvation from God. Each time we receive communion or the sacrament of confession, we receive healing. Do we really appreciate those sacraments for the life they give us? Now, there's 2 consequences of being grateful. First, being grateful helps us to remain close to God. In his letter to the Romans, St. Paul warns about the consequences of ingratitude. He writes, "Although they knew God, they did not accord him glory as God or give him thanks. Instead, they became vain in their reasoning, and their senseless minds were darkened. While claiming to be wise, they became fools." That's Romans 1, 21 and 22. Secondly, being grateful makes us happy, because it enables us to see all things as coming from God's loving providence. As St. Gianna Beretta Molla said, "The secret of happiness is to live moment by moment, and to thank God for all that He, in His goodness, sends to us day after day." Again, the secret of happiness is to live moment by moment, and to thank God for all that He, in His goodness, sends to us day after day. We can ask ourselves, are we really grateful for all the many blessings we've received? Do we remember to thank God constantly for all the good things He's given us, especially our vocations, our faith, the sacraments? Through the intercession of Our Lady of Faith, let's ask for the grace to be grateful to God for His many blessings, and thus to remain close to Him forever.
Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed hearing the gospel and homily, I invite you to share it with someone you know who may also find it rewarding, and also to subscribe to the Catholic Voice channel. Please see in the description below if you would like to receive a text message for each daily gospel and homily. Please also keep our missionary priests throughout the world in your prayers. Thank you, and God bless.